Welcome to Inside AWAI. I'm Katie Yeakle. Today, AWAI's Director of Training, Pam Foster, and I will be sharing 7 top success secrets of six-figure writers. And actually, we're going to be talking about strategies and a plan for you no matter what your income goal is. But, you know, 6 figures is a nice round number, right? So that's going to be our benchmark, and it is the goal for so many people who do come to AWAI. Hey, Pam, how you doing?
Great. How are you on this fine day?
Fine. I'm good. I'm excited. I love talking about this topic particularly. So we're really going to be laying out a great path for people. And actually, if you were with us in boot camp, Pam did touch on this presentation on Saturday, on the last day, but it was so well received, and we feel that it's such important information for everybody to have that we decided to turn it into today's Inside AWAI. So let's get started, because we know that every journey needs a map, it needs a plan, and that's why you're with us. And one of the great things of being an AWAI member is there are so many writers who have come before you that have followed our advice and our strategies. They've added their experience to the mix, and it just makes things so much easier for you. You know, after 21 years, every which way of getting to a person's writer's life has come through our door, and one of the wonderful things about AWAI is how sharing the community is, and how willing to let them know, let everyone know what works, what doesn't work. So it really comes down to this: is, you know, what's the path to success? And you have to establish a goal, you have to make a plan, you have to commit to that plan, and then you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You follow what others have done before you. And that's what we've put together here as what we feel are the top 7 traits. This we've seen across the board, no matter if you're looking for part-time income, if you're looking for 6 figures, or if you're looking beyond that. The common denominator, the thing that sets the people that are doing it apart from the ones that aren't doing it are these 7 traits. So we're going to just jump right into them. And the first one is validate. This is about making sure you know what you want, that you have an end goal. You know, what does your writer's life really look like? And I'm going to challenge you all. I'm going to encourage and beseech you, actually, even, to take some time, either this afternoon or this weekend. Do it quickly, but really think about, what does your writer's life look like? What's it like when you get up in the morning? What's a typical day like? What's a week like, a month, a year? How is it different than what your life is like now? What does it smell like? You know, where are you working? Where are you spending your time and your energy? What's the money look like? What's the impact that it has on your family, on others in your world? Really paint as detailed of a picture as you possibly can, and that's going to be our North Star. That's going to be where we're headed. And it's very important while you're doing this to keep in mind, you know, what's your why? Why are you doing this? Okay, if you say you'd like to make 6 figures, why? What's that trickle-down effect going to be? Is it, you know, it's not just a number, it's what that money can buy, the freedom, the choices, the lifestyle, the impact on your stress and your family and all of those things. So again, I'm going to come back to this, but it's so important before we even start this journey to really know why you're doing it, where you want to go, and how you're going to recognize it when you get there. So, let's start with some inspiration. Pam and I each personally know hundreds of copywriters who are making a great living from their writing careers. And we have this page on the AWAI website where, I don't know, there might be 40 or 50 by now. We're adding to it all the time. Just these little case studies. They're, single-page documents. You can read them very quickly. But they're so inspiring. They show you what's possible. They show you all the different shapes and sizes and looks of a writer's life. You'll meet people from all different backgrounds, different levels of experience. I highly recommend you check these stories out. Take from it what you can to help you form the image of what your writer's life is going to look like, and give you the motivation to start putting all the pieces in place that you're going to need. So, spend some time there, but this really is about you. So we want to go back to the exercise of defining your writer's life. So it's, at this point, you want to confirm what it is that you want. Is it, as a professional writer, what's that lifestyle going to look like? How many hours do you want to work? Where do you want to work? For what kind of clients do you want to write for? How much money do you need to make? Do you want to make? Are you freelance? Are you staff? There are so many different scenarios that can work for you. A lot of times we're talking about the freelance lifestyle, but for some people, that's not really what they want. They like being in an office or part of a team. And, there's hundreds of different ways to make a writer's life work within that environment. It can be full-time, part-time. We have, you're going to see this link here, and it's a blueprint for becoming a well-paid copywriter. And I highly recommend you check that out. You'll go through it, and it really breaks all these steps down even further. So I think that's going to be another homework assignment for you, is to go through the blueprint. Okay, so number one was validate. Number two is educate. You're going to see we have a little bit of a pattern going here. So once you know where you want to go and what it's going to look like, what are the resources you need to give you the skills that you need to get there? And it does start with an education, and an education in persuasive writing. If you want to be a content writer, a sales letter writer, anything involved in the direct response world where you're writing to persuade people to take an action. It starts with the basics of copywriting. And that is, of course, our accelerated program for six-figure copywriting. That's what you want to start with to establish your skill level. And then you want to build from there. We offer so many specialized programs. We have so many programs available for you to get clients, to choose a niche, and to establish and grow your business. So, AWAI is your one-stop resource for everything you need to establish and advance your skills. So and plus, if you just look through past Inside AWAIs, we touch on all of these topics. If you look in our e-letter archives, there's so much great free information there that can set you on the right path and show you what you need and give you really remarkable skills. But you do need to put that time in. It's not going to happen unless you get those skills. The other beauty of AWAI is just after 21 years, and just because of our stature in the industry, the pros that we work with on a regular basis, that we have programs and learning trainings with, you know, you wouldn't have access to these industry leaders otherwise. So again, this is, it's great that you're here, and it's great that you have this opportunity, and I just want to encourage you to take advantage of it and to realize that learning from a Clayton Makepeace or Bill Bonner or Donna Bear-Stein, all of these people that are contributing their best secrets, it doesn't really happen anywhere else, and it's just a great resource to take advantage of. All right, next.
This is where I'm jumping.
Pam, take it from here, please. Let me
no problem.
Give you the ball. Sorry about that. All right.
You need the ball.
Over to you.
Yes, thank you. So everything that Katie was talking about, we put this together thinking about, now who has done this path?
I forgot to mention that.
No, it's okay. Well, I've done this path, yes, but we wanted to show you some examples of people who came in from all walks of life, and they joined AWAI, and they did the work. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens pretty quickly if you really are focused and dedicated on this. So we wanted to sprinkle in a few stories so you can be inspired by, you know, people who, just like me, I used to work in a corporate cubicle, hating my life every day pretty much, and I was able to escape, and this is kind of how I did it. Chris and I joined AWAI, Chris Allsop on the right there in the turquoise blouse. She and I joined AWAI back in 2005. Oh my gosh, so long ago, but it's been a joy. And she just started learning and working it and applying everything she was learning. And in this picture here, she won a spec challenge that Clayton Makepeace, who's in the middle, who's one of the, if not the most successful financial copywriters there ever has been, he had a spec challenge to find people he could find to write for his company, or the company he was working with, the client. And so Chris won of those specs. We also have Eric in the picture, but I want to tell you Chris's story because she had a day job, and she just wanted to get out of it eventually and wanted to make a good living as a writer. And lo and behold, you know, she worked at it and worked at it. And she didn't win the spec with Clayton until 2013. So that's 8 years after she started. But all along the way, she won other spec assignments. And what we mean by that is clients in the direct response industry put out specs, and they want people to send in ideas for different products that they sell. So if you're part of AWAI, you'll know all about that. And we have live open spec assignments all the time that you can submit copy for. And if you win, you get paid to then write that project. And so Clayton hired these two people. Chris, she ended up staying with Clayton's client's company, which was Weiss, for quite a while, and ended up going in-house. And then just recently she decided, nope, I'm ready to go freelance, and I'm making the leap. And she's doing great. And so this journey of hers may be similar. It's very similar to what I did in the fact that I left my corporate job. I started writing for clients, and then I actually went back in-house with a veterinary association because I really missed being part of a team. And then lo and behold, in 2015, I joined AWAI as a staff member, and I've never looked back. It's so much fun to do this every day with the team. And so again, the writer's life is whatever you want it to be, and we just wanted to show you some different examples of people who are doing this. So the third thing that is a trait of people who are going for it with full effort is to control your fate. And what I mean by that is a lot of people get overloaded or overwhelmed by all the different possibilities we offer. And, you know, I can understand that. I was there when I first went to my first copywriting boot camp. I signed up for Clayton's emails and Bob Bly's emails and Early to Rise, and oh my gosh, every day my inbox was inundated, and I had to stop and focus. And that's what made the difference. Now, we want to make sure you're aware of all the different opportunities we offer, because something may spark an interest in you more than another avenue. But you definitely want to sit down and go, all right, enough of that. I need to focus. I want to be a web copywriter, for example. So now I'm going to focus on really mastering web copywriting. So that is the only set of programs I'm going to take right now. I'm going to make progress. I'm going to write some websites. I'm going to write my own website. Maybe I'll write a website for a friend of mine who owns a small business. You know, break it down and then take charge of that. You have to control your fate. Ignore all the noise if you can possibly do that. Just pick which direction you want to go in, and then step by step you can follow that direction and make progress. That's how you make progress. We have a lot of members who go, oh my gosh, I thought I wanted to do this, and then I saw that, and now I think I need to do this, and I've bought 7 programs. Which one should I take first? And it's like, breathe. Think for a second. What is your goal? And then focus on that. So we highly, highly recommend that once you know where you want to go, and some of these links we're sending you, like the blueprint and some other links you'll see here, will really help you figure that out for yourself based on what you want your life to be, then just commit to it and focus on that. So tomorrow, or as soon as you can, but I recommend tomorrow, sit down and think, what will move you toward your goals? Would it be establishing a daily writing routine in the area I want to specialize in? So blogging or web copy or articles or financial promotions. Can you establish a daily, like give yourself an hour a day or a half an hour a day? This is how J.K. Rowling wrote all the Harry Potter books. She found time every day in her life. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. And then study the things that you receive. Like when we send you emails, those are examples of sales copy. And click on the link and go to where it lands and study it. What's the flow? What interests you? What motivates you when you're reading it? So that may be something you commit to tomorrow. And I'm not saying doing all these things starting tomorrow. I'm saying, you know, really try to hone in on what you want to do and how you're going to get there starting immediately. So like if you're in a training program of ours, finish the next section. We have a lot of people who say, you know, I started this and then I got distracted and I haven't finished it in 7 years. Well, that's very common actually. But the way to really make momentum is to finish the darn thing, and then you're like, yes, I can check that off my list, and now I can move to the next level or the next advancement in that path. So promise yourself that you'll finish something you're doing. Whether it's a training program or setting up, you know, your LinkedIn profile, complete it, and then you can really feel good about having, you know, taken that step. And then maybe tomorrow you're going to tell one contact in your life that you are a copywriter and you want to do this for your living. And do they know anybody who might need your skills? Somebody who owns a website, a small business, anything like that. So
Pam,
pick something. Yep, go ahead.
You know, I like the idea of keeping like a victory journal almost, or some kind of journal where you're writing down these accomplishments, both big and little. And you know, if you do that over the course of a month, or even over the, you know, at the end of a year, it's really remarkable what you've done. But I find it motivating, and I know that students find it motivating as well too. So that's just another idea, a technique that you can put in to help you keep on track and help you stay the course.
Great idea. I love that. That's really good. I mean, I have a to-do list that is my living to-do list. And there's nothing more satisfying than checking off things on that list as I get them done. Plus, it keeps me focused. It's a really long list, and I've got like priority, and then I've got other. And the priority, every day, I have to do something on that in order for me to feel like I'm moving along. So here's another story of someone that I wanted to just tell you about. Jon, who is an engineer and worked for an engineering firm, was working 80-hour weeks and just grinding away and so unhappy, didn't get to see his kids very often, wasn't really doing work that motivated him. So he started copywriting, and he went to our boot camp as well, and he submitted, I think, 5 spec assignments, or 5 different things that different companies were looking for. And patience paid off because he didn't get any feedback right away, but then about 6 months later, a company called Yeakle Financial Publishing reached out to him and said, yes, we would like you to write a promotion for us. So he was off to the races. He said, that is my kickoff point. I'm going to do this. And then it led to writing for other clients. And then one of his clients asked him, can you please work for us full-time on our staff? We really need someone like you to write promotions and also copy chief or train other newer writers or less advanced writers, to help us with all of our stuff we need. So now he's full-time, not working crazy hours, but he's with a team he really enjoys, and he's doing what he loves more than what he was doing before. So again, he's another example of someone, he joined just a few years ago. I want to say like 3 years ago, and look how far he's come because he really did the work. He worked it. He created copy. He sent it in. He sent it to multiple clients. One of them said, this is great, and hired him, and it's just led to this amazing path very, very quickly. So I want you to be inspired by this because it's happening. All right. So the next thing that's super important, and we can't stress this enough, when you're a copywriter, especially freelance, you need people. You need people around you who will support what you're doing. And I know that in my family, nobody has any idea what I do pretty much. So, they love me and they support me, but they can't really support my skill set, my growth, getting clients, things like that. They're not really in that.
My high school friends want me to do a PowerPoint presentation for them sometime.
Oh.
They keep saying, what is it that you do?
Wow.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
You're not, yes.
Or they say, do you do legal copyright for trademarks? It's like, no. I'm a copywriter for marketing. It's very different. They don't know. So the thing about having people around you as an isolated job is that you need people to bounce ideas off, to feel like you're not alone in this, and to have a connection of other people on the same journey and celebrate with each other. Ask questions like, what do you think of these 2 headlines? Which one is stronger? Or, gosh, here's my website. Can you guys look at it and give me feedback? You need people in your life in this journey as a copywriter. So we strongly recommend that you find other copywriters through our social media. We've got LinkedIn and Facebook groups, and find people who maybe are in the same industry focus as you. Like, you're writing for finance, I'm writing for finance. You could create a buddy group. We recommend an accountability partner to help you stick to your plan and reach those milestones. So we have people who have partnered up, and they call once a week. How did you get, how far did you get this week on your couple of big to-dos that you had? You can post something on Facebook and ask for help, or ask a question of something you haven't run across before with a client. There are so many reasons and ways, and even if you're an introvert, because a lot of it is online now, really it doesn't mean you have to throw yourself out there in an uncomfortable way. Just chatting on a Facebook group is, pretty easy for most people, I would think, and you wouldn't believe how supportive everybody else is out there. You'll have in our groups people who have been around for 100 years like me, and then you'll have people who are just brand new, like they just joined yesterday. Everything in between. And we have some superstar people who are on social media, like Steve Maurer, if you've ever seen his name. He is generous and helpful and funny and really sharing everything he's doing to get clients on LinkedIn, for example. So finding people is really critical. So we have 3 ways here that you can do that in Facebook. These 3 links, by the way, all the links that we're showing you in these slides are going to be clickable when we send you the link to our video replay and the slides to this. They're not clickable right now because we're live, but when we send you the replay link, you can go watch it and go to the slides and click on the links on the slides, just so you know. So we have just an online copywriters group, we have a professional writer group, and we have a B2B copywriters group, business-to-business copywriting. Just go there and introduce yourself, ask questions, post topics. The big idea here is that you're never alone, even though you're working, like right now today, I'm in my office at home in Maine with my little dog. That is it. I have no one around me at all, except right now, let's see, how many people are on this? I have hundreds of people with me. And I always have my team with AWAI. So we are here, and other writers are here for you. And so make the most of that. It's incredible. So let's see, what slide are we on? Oh, now we're back to Katie. And I'm going to pass the ball back to you as soon as I get something out of the way here in my, sorry, I have my screen so I can see the questions, and it makes me not be able to see you, Katie. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Oh my goodness,
ready.
I'm having a technical meltdown here. Hang on one second.
Well, I can be reviewing in the meantime. So for number 1, validate. We're all going to do that this weekend. Educate. We're going to look at what we're doing and how we can add to that so that we're getting the skills that we need. Control your fate. That's up to you, and Pam gave you some great ideas as far as that goes. Collaborate. You're part of this amazing AWAI community now. They can help you get started. They can help you learn the ropes. So then the next word that rhymes with rate, or 8, is a phrase is set your rate, because you are, if you're here with us, if you're part of AWAI, that means you want to earn a living as a copywriter. It doesn't mean you're here, it's not a hobby for you, you're serious about it. So you do need to think in terms of this being a business that you want to be profitable, and a business that you are running. So that does come with the money conversations that you have to have with your clients. Now, we have so many resources available to help you through all that, and this is where the community is such a plus. Everybody's been through this, and I get that it's a scary notion, but the thing that you have to always keep in mind is the value that you're bringing as a copywriter to any company that you write for. That should drive your confidence. Nobody's hiring you, they're not doing you a favor. They're not, they're hiring you because they need you, because they know you can help them grow their business, improve their sales, have better customer relations, everything that goes right to their bottom line. So it's part of the process. It's not adversarial. There's definitely proven paths and strategies. We have this great report, which is the 2018 Copywriting Pricing Guide. We will be updating it for next year, but right now it gives you everything that you need. There's 75 different project types in there, and it gives you fee ranges and a lot of it really depends on the client itself. And many times you can even just say, well, what's your budget, and take it from there. And the other thing to keep in mind is that if, for instance, if you were to say a higher price and the client came back and said, well, no, we were thinking more this price, again, that's fine. That's part of normal negotiation, and it's not a black mark, or it's just part of the back and forth that happens. What happens many times is you start at one price and maybe the project turns out to be more or bigger, and then you can renegotiate as you go along. Or one project turns into additional projects, which is the ideal scenario. That's what we encourage you to think in terms of. And then oftentimes, you know, as you get more experience, as you get faster, as, you know, all these other things come to play, the fees and rates escalate accordingly. But the big thing is we've got your back here. We can help you through this, but it's just important to recognize that this is part of the business that you're in now, and you need to take control of it, be excited about it, not let it intimidate you, and realize that it's kind of different with every client, and you need to have some flexibility, but know your worth, know what each project is worth for you. Maybe if it's the first time with a well-known or your dream client, you may want to, you may be open to a lower rate, knowing that it'll be a great sample, that it can lead to other things. But then again, if it's a bigger company with a big budget and it's a big campaign, you price accordingly. So we can give you a lot more information about that, but like I said, I want it to be part of your mindset now that it's part of the whole bigger, I'm a business owner, I need to make a profit mindset. That it's not a hobby for you. Okay, next, and this is very important. You're getting everything that you need in place. You're getting your mindset ready. You're ready for this. You need to make a date. You need to say, January 1st, I'm launching my copywriting business. December 15th, whatever the date is, because nothing will happen until you do this. We've seen it so many times. And it's like a magic bullet, or, you know, it's the magic button or whatever it is. You know, we even have one program, excuse me, called Making the Leap that was written by Roy Furr, and it details the exact steps that he took to make the leap from his old job to this wonderful, exciting freelance career he has. And once he had that plan, he ended up quitting his job. I think it was like 3 months prior than what he had planned, because the fact that he did have everything spelled out and planned for, that it accelerated. So, you know, the things you need to keep in mind, obviously, are income. So, you know, what do you need to do now to either save more, earn more, so that there is a cushion as you're building your business and as you make the transition. Ed Gandia, I don't know if you've heard of him or read about him. You know, it took him, I think it was 20-some months, like, you know, 2 years or so, because he had a high salary. He was making six figures as a salesman on the road, and he wanted to replicate that. He didn't want to give up his old job until he was at that point in his copywriting career. So that took a little bit longer. But it's all about coming up with this plan that takes into account what you need to learn, what you need to make, what the timing for your life looks like. Come up with a realistic date, and that's when you start. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to change. This is just markers to get you moving in the right direction. And the thing is once that is there, that date is looming, you know, it just kicks off your momentum. I think, actually, I think Roy's may have been July 4th, like that was his Independence Day. I'm not sure about that, but, you know, pick something that's meaningful to you, or just pick a date and it will become meaningful to you, because it will be the day that you officially launch your writer's life. Now, I harped a little bit on the business of copywriting. And I do think it's very important to get into that mindset. But the great news is that this is about the easiest business there is to set up. You don't need any special license or anything like that. You just need to have you need to make the decision. You need to. It's a good idea to have a website. You know, you don't absolutely have to have one up when you launch, but it certainly helps. Websites are kind of, the business cards of today. You need a computer, a phone, workspace, all those things. And then, you just need to put your shingle out. And this report is very helpful. It's setting up your freelance writing business. It kind of goes through the do's and the don'ts. It's a good idea to check with an accountant, with your personal accountant, as far as if you want to be I can't think of the word. Pam, can you help me? If you want to be an independent contractor, or
right.
if you want to set up a little LLC, or those things we can't actually advise you on. It's different for you should go to your personal accountants and attorneys for those things. But there's not much cost involved. There's not anything that you have to do to be able to say that yes, I'm a working copywriter, and yes, I can take payment for my writing. So then, once you do that, it's all about opening the gate and just letting everybody that you're open for business, that you can help them improve their sales, you can help them improve their profitability, you can help them grow their business. And by I mean if you're standing in line at Starbucks, everybody you meet, you say, hey, I'm a copywriter. And then they say, oh, what's that? Well, I help people, I write for websites, and I help people grow their businesses. Oh, well, my uncle needed that, or my brother was just talking about that. It's just amazing how that happens. And for the people that need your services, and there's so many of them, that's like an electric jolt goes through them when they hear the word copyright. Like, oh my God, that's just what I've been waiting for. Come to boot camp in May. We're going to have another job fair there. Get out into your community. Get out into the forums and the groups that you're involved in. Let them know you are open for business, and that you can help them grow their business. I keep saying that. You like I said, you want to have a website. LinkedIn is great as well. We have great programs available on how to get started with LinkedIn. There's a free Inside AWAI that Steve Maurer helped us with. He's our LinkedIn pro. And AWAI is always looking for specs. We're looking for articles for the Writer's Life, for our other Barefoot Writer. If you have any ideas, we're a great way. We've launched dozens and dozens and dozens of careers. Reach out to any businesses that you are excited about, that you feel passionate about, that you're a customer of, that you feel like you could help them. We have so many programs that show you how to do that, but start thinking now about what that could feel like and what that could look like. We have this great program that's called 26 Ways to Find Writing Clients. And we put it together with introverts, extroverts, and everybody in between in mind. And you will hear from 26 working copywriters their favorite method for getting clients. I highly recommend it. You try 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, whatever. It would be impossible. It wouldn't be impossible, but it wouldn't be realistic or necessary to do all 26. But how great to have some that you can try on for size and see what works for you. You're seeing Elizabeth Blessing's website. Elizabeth got started with, she won a spec challenge from Clayton also. and that's what launched her career. And now she has a big client in Investing Daily that keeps her busy and satisfied and gives her a wonderful life. So don't underestimate the power of a spec. Don't underestimate the power of putting yourself out there, to, even if it might feel a little uncomfortable at first, because that's what it takes to just get things going. But have confidence that if you've been through AWAI programs, if you're part of our community, you'll have the skills that you need to do this. We're just going to briefly review the 7 personal success traits: validate, educate, control your fate, collaborate, set your rate, make a date, and then open the gates. Okay, Pam, I'm going to send it back to you now, and anything you'd like to add here, I would love for you to share your experience, because you have had such an amazing career, and you are such the epitome of what the AWAI Promise is all about, and how you've made it work for you in different stages of your life.
And I'm so grateful for AWAI because it did change my life. I'll quickly tell you my story. It's not about me, but I'll just quickly go through. So 2005, let's go back to when I was working in corporate America, and I got home one night and I was so frustrated with the corporate environment, and I got this wonderful thing in the mail from Paul Hollingshead, who said, "Retire this year and get paid more than most doctors." And I was riveted instantly, because it was all about making a living as a copywriter. And I just kind of sat at my kitchen table and went, oh my gosh, this is the way out. This is my escape from corporate America. I cannot wait to know what this is about. So I took that mailer and I went to work. And I didn't really show them the retire part, but we didn't really have anybody in my company who understood direct response copywriting. So I said, listen, I want to take this program, and we do have a training budget, so would you be willing to, cover the cost of our accelerated program? And they did, and then they paid for my first boot camp. So that was pretty awesome. And I had an obviously an ulterior motive. I was going to do great work for my employer, of course, as a result of them sending me there, but I knew within a year I was going to leave, and this was the way I could find a way to make good money, as opposed to trying to write articles for magazines for no money. And so I came up with an idea after I left for AWAI to have a program on how to work with web clients. And in 2009, they awarded me with the 10K Challenge Award for that program, because it was, yay, I know. And I always thought it was for sales promos, but they made an exception this time because it was a program that was helpful to all the members. And anyway, so that was an exciting moment. And then I started doing small speaking events at boot camp and at our web copywriting event. And so that led into bigger speaking opportunities. And here I am in the middle with Bob Bly, who was an idol of mine in the copywriting world. And now here I am speaking with him. So that was huge and exciting for me. And then, as I said, I went back into full-time work. I was the creative content marketing person for a veterinary association, a big global veterinary association. And I was applying everything I learned from AWAI to email campaigns and video scripts and our website update and all this stuff we were putting out for all of the members of the association. And then there were some changes there, and I was like, I was a little bit nervous about that. So then all of a sudden there was an opportunity to join AWAI full-time in 2015, and I was like, yes, please. I do want to go there. So that's how I came around to being where I am today. And one of the things that was a constant through all of that was this thing where the AWAI created a new program back in 2007 that took advantage or wanted to help people make the most of those peer connections that we have, where it's live training and you're in a specific group live that you really get bonded with and work together through this instead of being all alone and figuring it out yourself. And they called it Circle of Success. So I joined Circle of Success the first year it came out in 2007, and I've been a member. I've used every tool and everything that it offers, and now it's kind of funny because I've come full circle, no pun intended. Actually, yes, pun intended. Now I manage Circle of Success. So you might be going, well, what the heck is that? So I just thought I would tell you a little bit about that because it changed my life, honestly. I was able to break free from something I wasn't happy with and go in a path that is, I don't know, I get to work at home and I get to travel wherever I want and I work with a team I love and I'm writing and teaching. So that's like the perfect vision of what my life would be. And honestly, Circle of Success was the catalyst for that. It's our highest level of personalized learning, so you're not alone. And if you're truly committed to this, this is let's just put it this way. I thought about getting my master's in business, my MBA, or a master's in communications when I was trying to get out of corporate life. So I would have spent, 3 years studying and, living off a student loan. And then I'd graduate with a huge pile of debt, and I would probably end up back in corporate life because when you have an MBA and those kinds of things, that's pretty much what happens, right? So I said, no, 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 I'm doing this instead. I'm going to focus on becoming a freelance copywriter. I'm going to use all the tools that AWAI has, which I can have at my disposal when I need it because I'm a Circle of Success member. And then there's also personal mentoring. We have people who actually will get on the phone and talk to you about your goals and what steps you should take next, because putting a map together is kind of hard if you don't see all the different destination points. So that was super helpful, having a career plan, a roadmap. Today we actually have it as an actual physical roadmap online that you go step by step by step so you don't stray and get lost in the shuffle. And then also Circle of Success was amazing because we had assignments that you could submit for live review online together with an instructor. So in our groups, we would come up with headlines and we would bring them to our instructor for feedback, and we all learned from each other how peer review works, how it can strengthen your copy. And then we have a brand new program that's going to be part of this called Simulated Training, where you will actually see what it looks like to be hired as a copywriter and go through that process, writing copy, real copy that we're going to look at for a product that we need copy for. We're not just kidding around. It's not hypothetical. It's a real product we need copy for, because we need copywriters every day just like other clients do. And then the thing that was the pinnacle for me on Circle of Success was the mastermind access to people like Clayton Makepeace and Henry Bingaman, who's a superstar now, and Bob Bly, and all these people who taught us in our own exclusive circle every month with tips to write winning copy and have a thriving business. So I just want to give you a quick glimpse of it, because Circle of Success is live online now with the roadmap that we have here. We have live events. We have our community, which is ongoing. Some of our annual events also have Facebook pages, but they kind of they're not ongoing for life, and Circle of Success is. And we also have that mentoring and coaching and personal development that isn't available through anything else, really. We have a resource library with swipe files, so if you're sitting there with blank page syndrome, suddenly you can just go, I want to look at what a list note looks like. Boom, we have them there for you. We also have a blog that Will Newman writes, and he's a genius and has been one of our master instructors. Again, you have access to everything in our resource catalog, all the programs on web, on business to business, on writing, just about anything you feel like writing that pays really well. We've got it all there. And then we've got a marketing room teaching you about marketing if you're coming to copywriting from a different walk of life. Let's say you're a nurse and you're like, I've had it with nursing, I want to be a copywriter in the health world. Well, but you may not know about marketing, so we have a room with information that gets you up to speed on all that. So when you think about those 7 traits, they're all here. We've actually created our circle of success to follow those 7 traits for you and make them all available in a very clear and easy to access way. So you can validate that this is what you want. You're committed to becoming a copywriter on your terms, freelance, part-time, full-time, staff, whatever it is you want. We've got the programs where you can get your education. You can control your fate by following the roadmap that we've created, both in direct response business to consumer writing and also in the business-to-business field, which is slightly different in very meaningful ways, and now you can just walk through that path and know exactly how that all works. And one of my favorite things is that you're never alone. As part of the circle, I'm with you every Monday. I send you updates on what's going on. You've got Facebook, LinkedIn, members who meet together at live events. It's incredible. That camaraderie is what really has propelled a lot of people to make the leap, because they felt, oh my gosh, I'm not alone at this. I thought I had to go be all alone and do this, figure it out. Well, no, you don't have to. And then the rest of the traits, everything is here for you in training tools, camaraderie, monthly meetings, all of that is in Circle of Success. So we just thought today we would tell you about it as an opportunity and one option that you could look into for yourself if you're serious about leaving your current life and getting into a well-paid copywriting life. These are just some of the... Oh, go ahead.
It really is the culmination of our 21 years of helping people live the writer's life and understanding everything that they need, helping them with overload, helping them have a clear path, giving them access to the industry leaders that they just couldn't have anywhere else, bringing them new programs like this new simulation program where it's going to be like you're writing for us, the mentorship. We know that that's been so valuable and instrumental in people's success. So it's always evolving. We're always adding to it and improving it, again, based on what we see, what we know that works.
Yeah, and we do know it works because people like the pictures you're seeing right here are making it happen, and they're very vocal about it. They tell us, they celebrate their wins. I just got another client, or I just became a staff member of this St. Charles publishing company, or I just decided on my niche focus, my niche industry I'm going to focus on, and it's going to be manufacturing and safety, and then they take off because of that. So all of these people you're looking at right here are all members of Circle of Success, and they happen to be some of our most successful members that we know. Over the years, there have been many, many, many more. These are the more recent stories that we have. But, you know, I'm sitting here as one too. I went through Circle of Success and the live training and all of that, and it really brought me to where I am today. So we were just excited to show you what's going on with members that are embodying those 7 traits and how they're doing it. And a lot of them have just jumped in full boat to be part of this program. So we have an open enrollment right now. We only offer it a couple times a year, so we wanted to let you know about it. If this sounds interesting to you, the enrollment is open now, but it's just open until next Tuesday, October 30th. And this link, you know, you could write it down now and go there now, but when we send you the replay, it'll also be clickable on the slides. We want you to learn what it is all about and what it would bring to you and your life and your mission to do this. If you've been procrastinating, or if you felt unsure, or if you have felt alone, it's worth checking this out because, you know, I believe in it 110%, and we're working every day to make it even better. That's my job. So I need, you know, I rely on our current members to tell me what's great and what might be missing and we could add to, and you could be part of that. So I will end it at that, and we have some questions I see over in the priority list. I'm having a little technical thing with questions, Katie. I can't click on them and answer typing-wise. So just read them off, and if you need my help, I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah. And Pam, it is so wonderful, the full circle story, because you really were the inspiration for COS, you know, however many years ago with your Delray Motivator group, and seeing the power of that group and the accountability that came from it. And now, you know, all these years later, for you to actually be in charge of the training and making sure that the training is the best that it can be, and what's really needed, is such a beautiful thing, first of all, but such a powerful thing too. So I don't want to just gloss over that. So,
yeah, sometimes I pinch myself. I just go, this is my job. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Hazarine is asking, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, does COS cover B2B as well with the assignment plus the simulator? And I do want to just answer that verbally. We have this amazing roadmap. Pam, how many steps is it now?
Well,
30.
It's about 30
just
steps.
A regular roadmap. 30 yep. steps, and it's broken down into these rooms where you know, these modules, and each step has its own room that has, you know, video training as well as other resources and things to do. You know, they're very complete unto themselves, and they build and they take you along this path. And when we first added that back in the summer, I guess, June or
yep, it was,
not March, or this year's a whole blur, but it was only for business to consumer. But just last week, we finalized, and Pam has done an amazing job with the team of creating a track that complements and builds off of for B2B. So there's B2B options as well. So, and it's really got everything you need there. As far as the assignment and the simulator training, that is going to be for a product for AWAI. It's going to be like you're one of our writers writing for one of our products. So it won't focus specifically on B2B, but obviously the things that you would be learning are just going to make you a better writer for anything that you do. Okay, let's see what else do we got here that we want to take care of. So, Fran, I'm going to move over to the prioritize. So if there's anything that hasn't been answered in the long string, if you could send those over. No problem.
And we've got Mark and Jade helping us as well.
Thank you. Oh, somebody's asking when we're going to be offering the copy editing program. We're working on it, I promise you. Definitely, you know, I'd say definitely, hopefully first quarter of 2019, but it is a priority for us, and we know it's going to help people out as well as give them another service that they can offer their clients. So Linda said maintaining and building customer loyalty. There must be another part of this question that is not being shown here. Oh, she's working in the healthcare insurance space. She'll be doing periodic email campaigns to promote educational webinars. Any quick advice on AWAI resources? Well, you know, there's so much on writing emails. There's the Jay White program, which is great, Ben Settle program. Those are big, full-bodied programs you can take. We've also covered writing emails in some past Inside AWAIs. If you were to go to our article archives and just put in writing emails or emails, you know, a ton of articles will come up that will give you some more information.
Katie, we also in the B2B track have B2B email program. So that sounds like B2B she's talking about there, maybe.
Yeah. Perfect.
So we got emails covered in quite a variety of ways.
Believe me. Oh, Nicole, what's the story with boot camp in May? How exciting. Yes, we have made the switch where boot camp is going to be in May every year instead of October. After 20 years, we actually realized we don't have to do it right in the middle of hurricane season. We don't need to add that stress to everything else. So We're making the switch in 2019, so it'll be in May, and then every year thereafter. Well, for the foreseeable future, it'll be in May, but always subject to change. But that's the plan as of now. All right, I'm going to do a last call here. Are there any last questions? This has been fun, and I can't stress the power of COS. It is like rocket fuel. You know, somebody has said that. Because there's the commitment level, there's the activity level. You know, you're within the first week or so, you're completing your career action plan, and then you're going to have a mentor walk you through it and come up with the best next steps. That's another thing about COS that I always like to tell people as well. While it is this far-reaching, long-term commitment, not just from you, but from us, because we're with you till you hit your goals, and then when you hit new goals, we'll be with you there as well. So it does have that 30,000-foot view, and it has that map, that path clearly marked out. I always like to think of COS as focusing on your best next step. We know all that's there, we got you covered, but let's just focus on what do I do today, tomorrow, next week to move along that path. And then when you get there, let's regroup. What do I do now, today, tomorrow? So that, I think, puts it in perspective and takes a little bit of the pressure off and really lets you focus in on the job at hand, which is creating the writer's life that you're dreaming of. Amy is asking, are most of the best success stories from the direct response long-form writing? Are the same money opportunities there for B2B or softer sell material?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Well, no, I would say that it's maybe 50-50. We have a lot of B2B writers who are doing quite well because clients in the mid-size to larger range, companies need all kinds of copy. And once they've found you, they just want you to write everything for them, from case studies and white papers to email campaigns, web pages, blogs. It's endless. So there's just as much opportunity. And actually, in B2B, it's pretty quicker than, it doesn't come out right. It can be quicker to get going and get projects and start earning money than it is in the big direct response long-form sales letter world. But having said that, direct response companies also need all kinds of other copy, besides long-form sales letters. They need, emails and landing pages and lots of different things. So I think the opportunities are pretty equal and balanced.
Yes, I agree with that. And, now I'm starting to freeze up in the questions a little bit, but there was a question from Jeff, I believe. It was just asking, how is there a way to get started making money as a copywriter without investing a lot? Yes, there is, and I would recommend you go to the Inside AWAI archive. You just go to the webpage and put in Inside AWAI in the search bar. You'll see, we did a whole session on how to make your first $1,000, how to get started. There's 3 or 4 that can help you do just that. But that being said, I do believe that you do need to invest in the resources that you need to get the skills that you need. Can you do it on your own and through the ton of free resources that we have? You certainly can, but yep, it'll definitely make it easier on yourself and quicker if you are able to invest. But I totally understand that not everybody can do it now, or that's not an option. So we try to cover it all.
I was going to say, I think of it as starting any sort of business or any sort of career. When, to me, it's probably the easiest way to start a business or a career rather than going to college or even a trade school, or trying to set up with multiple different vendors, like you know, you have to set up your website and you have to set up email programs. It's kind of piecemeal, and what we've tried to do here is make it a clear path for you, worth investing in, because it will bring you into that career you want to be in. So, you know, any career, whether it's plumbing or whatever, you have to spend some money to get set up. And so I guess, you know, that's the way I look at it. Like I said, I would have gone to get my MBA and still maybe be jobless or living in a cubicle again. But, you know, there is some investment, and everybody has their own timing on that, of course, and their own readiness and their own, like, okay, I'm serious about this now, I want to get going. So it's whatever you want to do.
Jerry is in COS. He's a very enthusiastic COS member, he says, and he wants to know more about simulated programs. It's going to start in January, and Jerry, you'll be hearing plenty about it. But basically, the idea is to recreate the experience that a copywriter would have if they were working for a major mailer, a major client. And in this case, AWAI will be the client, and we're going to walk you through the whole process, starting with the initial kickoff call that we have, where we're talking about the project, and we're bringing the marketing team together, and then you'll meet the actual client that's involved with the product, and then you'll have a brainstorming, and then there'll be feedback on. You'll get all the research materials, then there'll be feedback, then you'll be sent to write a headline, then you'll get feedback on that, then you'll write the lead. You know, it's taking you through the whole process, but I promise you're going to get plenty more information about it, and it will be starting in probably late January. Schwann's asking, do the accelerated program members have free access to boot camp? No, there is a fee for boot camp, unless you are part of Circle of Success, and if you are, Circle of Success members get 3 free boot camps, and boot camps are $2,500 each, so it's not I mean, it's a sizable benefit. Justin is asking, what are some of the must-have books that every copywriter should have? Great question. And Justin, I'm going to encourage you to go to our article archive and type that in, because we have a few different lists. There's one by John Ford, which is great. There's another one by, I think, Bob Bly. You'll see a few different lists, but if you just put in there, you know, books copywriters should read or copywriters reading list, you'll get some great suggestions there. Cynthia is asking, should I do the B2C or B2B roadmaps in COS, or will that spread my focus? I would pick one. Pam, I'm sure you would agree with that. Focus on one to start, and you can always change.
Yep. I see a question, actually, that I'd be happy to answer about, it's very specific, and if this doesn't resonate with the rest of the people on the line, that's okay. Mike said he completed the Jay White email copy made easy course, and he's halfway through accelerated program, but he's wondering how to get started writing emails quickly to make some money. And you know, Jay is very generous and available, and I'm sure would be happy to talk with you about that specifically, because I know part of his program has a getting clients component to it with you know, his guidance. So if I would start there, talk to him first, and probably through the program you have an email link to him, but if you don't, let us know and we'll get you in touch with him.
Matthew is asking, will you ever offer the Smart Start copywriting course again? Well, Matthew, we are doing that next week, I believe. Ooh. Right? Yes, we're doing that next week, so you're in luck. Fran, Sherry Caldwell just wrote something that I wanted to read to everybody. She, just about her experience in COS, and I see it.
Sure, I prioritized it. Would you like me to read it out again?
Yeah, it's not in priority anymore.
All right. We have it on high, but I'll go ahead and read it because I see if that's okay. She says, yay, glad I stopped in today. Always great to hang out for a few minutes. I can say COS was the best investment I have ever made in my personal education and career training. It's made me more money and opportunities in my 4-year college degree. Go for it.
So a unbiased plug from Sherry Caldwell. Thanks, Sherry. It's great to see you again, and I'm glad you stopped by too.
I saw a question that I wanted to answer, and I can't see it anymore either. So sorry for the technical issues, you guys. Fran, maybe you can read us the last questions that are in the priority bucket.
Sure, no problem. Loretta is asking, I was told bigger companies expect a bachelor's degree.
That was the one. I was so excited to answer that one. So here's the thing. Maybe if you're applying for a full-time in-house job, they might be looking for that. But as a copywriter, you do not have to have a college degree. We even have people in our most successful circle who have not even finished high school. It's the learning of writing conversational copy and a persuasive sort of convincing them that this is the solution they've been looking for. That anybody can learn to write that. It's not you don't have to have a degree, and if you do a really great job at writing copy like that, clients don't care what kind of degree or background you have. They want to know that you can write copy that brings them sales results. So that is a fallacy unless you're looking for a specific internal staff job where they may require it. But move on. Work with clients who don't care. They just want results.
Yeah, it's all about the writing. It's all about the writing. So Don Mahoney, one of our founders, didn't graduate from college. Clayton High School, I think Clayton Makepeace, I think he dropped out of high school. It's all about the writing. That's all anybody cares about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But right, unless it's some corporate situation where that is a requirement. But okay, I can't see any more questions. So, Fran, is there anything we're missing?
It looks like Rebecca's trying to send her questions. I just see one more comment from Liz. She says, trying to jump in without the education or support runs the risk of damaging your reputation by giving less than optimal products. Right, and she says, with that amount of cases.
And not a question, but an awesome statement.
Right.
Oh, and
Linda,
one just came
from Linda about, do we have a roadmap apart from COS?
Mm-hmm.
We did a roadmap as an Inside AWAI, so that's a free path. So if you go to our homepage, type in Inside AWAI in the search bar, you're going to come. We've done probably I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 of these now. And they're organized by topic. I highly recommend any questions that you have, any topics that are of interest of you, that you take an hour and go through them. You'll definitely get your questions answered. And we do have some roadmaps. They're just not nearly as in-depth, or they don't have the supporting materials that COS has. Okay, I think I think we should probably call it.
Alrighty, and it looks like Pam might have been actually booted out of the webinar, unfortunately.
I'm back. No, I'm back.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I don't know what happened. It booted me out, but I'm back. Was there a question?
No, I'm here too. I think, are we ready to call it a day? This has been great. I love all these questions, and I love everybody's enthusiasm, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the future.
Definitely. I hope to see you guys, and we'll be here next month with another topic too.
We will. And just as a reminder, the COS registration does close on Tuesday, and this will be the last time that it's offered this year. So if you think that this is right for you, go to that link. You'll read all about it, and you can contact Member Services. They'll give you a quote. We do give personalized quotes. There's different discounts that you may be entitled to, so that's worth looking into as well. And I'd love to welcome you into Circle of Success. So thanks, everybody, and have a great weekend.
Thanks for being here. Take care.
Bye-bye.